Well, hi guys. This video, I'm jumping forward. The last couple of weeks, since the last video I put up of the disking, it took off raining. And to say it's been wet, well, that'd be an understatement. But I did a lot of work to the cab of the tractor. I went through the fuel system of the 1850, finding a ferrule that on the fuel line going into the first filter that was bad, and replaced it. Had the electric fuel pump on. I took the electric fuel pump off and put the regular pump back in line, and it's kind of getting everything ready for now. It is in the video, it is Monday, June 14th, and the day before I had done some disking for my cousin. And that's kind of where this video starts. On Sunday afternoon. So it's in the well, time travel's complicated. So I hope you understand the video. This is where everything is coming to a head, and the 1850 has presented me with some problems out of the blue, and I do mean out of the blue. So I hope you enjoy watching this. Like I said, this is a jump of several weeks from the time frame of the last video, which was into May, where I was disking. But after that, it just rained and rained and rained and rained. I need to get the videos caught up, so I hope you enjoy. Hang on, we'll be right back. Well, hi guys. It is Monday, the 14th of June. Lots been going on in the last 24 hours. I have the local flora and fauna way back there in the field. There's at least 3 wild turkeys rolling around in the dust. Yes, I said dust. Because we're disking with the 1850 and the Moline disc. So just a sec. Okay guys, I know you're asking yourself, why have I got the Moline disc hooked up? Why don't I have the white disc hooked up? Well, that's because of what happened last night. My cousin was getting a piece of the ground just a mile from me, and he asked me if I could come up and help him disc. And I just got done with the last, what I thought was wrong with the 1850. That ferrule fitting. The ferrule being bad and the fitting being stretched. So I replaced it. Running great. Hooked the disc up, went up there. It's a 20-acre field, and I disced maybe 6 acres. Got to the end of the field, hit the hydraulic lever, tapped the brake, spun the wheel, and started being jerked all over the place. Hit the clutch, turned around and looked. Disc wasn't coming out of the ground. I was like, what? let off the lever, pushed it down, pulled it up, wouldn't do anything. Just sat there, squalling a pump. So that began the odyssey of getting it from where it was in the field out to where it was out of the way. And I could not lift the disc up. No way, shape, or form. It would not pick it up. Fast forward to this morning. Went down to McHenry's. Now, I'll say this. I went from the right set of remotes to the left. And that's where things get really interesting. It wouldn't do nothing. Wouldn't pick the wheels up, wouldn't push them down. So I took the cylinder loose from the disc. And the same thing, it just make a little jump either way. Hooked it back up, put it back to the other side. Nothing. It wouldn't pick it up. So 8 o'clock this morning, I was down at McHenry's talking to Harry about it. And he said, well, I'll meet you up there. Well, we fooled with it for probably hour and a half, 2 hours. And you put a gauge on it on the left hand side, and there was absolutely no pressure whatsoever either way you moved the valve. Nothing. And it's like, okay, go over to the other side. Got 1200 psi at 1700 RPM. And he's like shaking his head. He said, no, that can't be right. So, long story short, we took, to show you, the turkeys back there are watching. The valve right there. Took the back of it off, looked at it, took the front of it off, looked at the seats, the springs, everything. Everything looks perfect. Went into the cab. Now, that's what, hopefully, no, you can't see it. Well, that valve is right there. That's the front of it. And we took that big one out, right there, that big plug. It's your pressure valve. Pulled it apart, took shims out, cleaned everything up, put it back in, started up, hit the hydraulic lever. I had 2100 psi right now. Go to the other side, nothing. Shut it off, took that out again, just basically unscrewed it, screwed it back in, started up, checked the left side, we got 2200 pounds. Check the right side, got 2200 pounds. Okay, must have fixed it. He took off. I headed back down here because my cousin finished up and got it planted last night. Come to here this morning. Started discing up there by the road. And I got about where, sorry about that, batteries died. But about where that disc was sitting, it suddenly wouldn't pick it up again. Absolutely Would not pick it up, no way, shape, or form. So I drug it around here, called Harry back. And he said, you know, he was on another call at a farm. I can't get there till later. So I pulled the disc up by here by the Ford Baler. And thought, why don't we try a different cylinder? Kind of eliminate that as a possibility. So I put the John Deere cylinder on it. Same thing, it would not pick it up. Alright. Finally fooled with it long enough, and it finally raised it up enough to get it in transport. So I parked it, unhooked it, hooked the Moline disc up. And to be honest, it did not want to pick this disc up, as little and light as it is. So Harry just left a little bit ago, and we fooled with everything we did this morning to this tractor again, and still move the lever. One time you got 2200 psi, next time you pull the lever you got 1200. And he went through everything he could think of, trying to figure out what's going on with it. Oh yeah, one other thing we discovered. I put the electric fuel pump back on a couple hours ago because I'm tired of fighting the air in the injector pump. So I put the electric back on. I thought this ferrule nut and fitting would solve it. It did not. However, after running it a couple hours, on the injector pump, had a leak running down. Harry said, "This thing ain't running right." I said, "I agree, but I don't know what to do. I've done everything I know to do." And he's trying to find, you know, where it was coming from. I said, "Harry, I'll show you." And dabbed my oil finger in some black, nasty, oily mess and smeared it across here. And sure enough, it was leaking there. Put a wrench on it. As soon as he did, it shot fuel straight back. So shut it off, shut it off, shut it off. Pulled this out, and it's got a steel ring behind it, and it had a bad spot in it. Replaced that. Now it's running better, but it's still not running right, and he agrees. He said, "I'm just going to you're just going to have to bring this thing down, and I'm going to have to go just play with it." He said, "There's something not right." And he said, "Everything you've done," he said, would do myself." He said, "But it's not solving your problem. But this may be where the air possibly getting into it, because it was leaking fuel. It could suck air." So that's still on the bench. Now, as far as the tractor and the disc are concerned, I'm going to try. I just want to get across this once. Supposed to come tomorrow to spread fertilizer. He does. I'll hit it with a Harrow. And my cousin is going to plant it for me this year with the 30-foot drill. So he can have this planted in just, a couple hours he'll be done. If it takes him that long. That's the game plan. I just want to get this done. I have not ventured next door over by the house yet. I know it's wet over there. It's spun down at the end of the field. There's water standing down there, so I kind of got to watch where I go there. But we're getting it. It is funny to be watched by the local flora and fauna. I don't know if you can see them back there. There's two right over here, and there's one right at the edge of the field. No, there's two at the edge of the field now. Yeah, I guess one of them moved over there, but there's three of them there. Pretty good size too. Good for dinner. And I'm hungry. But kind of a what's been going on today. I'm going to try to get a little footage. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we'll try it and see what happens. So bear with me, guys, and we'll be right back. So hang on. Well, hi guys. Probably hard to hear me in here. Why I haven't taken any video. The ground is looking up really nice. It's cloudy, I'd say. I'm going to Guess what? Such a bugger, but it is. I'm really wanting to get to the bottom of this hydraulic problem. It just popped up out of the blue. Because it's getting annoying. Annoying to say the very least. And you can tell I got into some good soft mud. Oh well. Still ain't got to try my lights out at night. Oh well. Cannot believe that. Same place. It's wet too. Well guys, I'm going to call it a day. (8:16). I've been at it since 7:30. So I think it's time to call it a day. So we'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Tomorrow's plan: finish disking what's left back there in the backfield. Fertilizer gets spread, and then I start harrogating. And hopefully my cousin will be here tomorrow afternoon to start planting. At least that's the game plan. So we'll see you next time.